Yo, how's it going, guys? We're gonna be doing another quick build update since I actually have changed my build up a little bit since the last time I made a video. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Runes, still are pretty much the same. I've still really mostly been going Conquer with sorcery. Conquer is still just the best keystone right now. I did experiment with PTA more, but Conquer just straight up just outscales it, and also in lane, like early, it's not that big of a difference. Like maybe you lose on like 20-30 damage early in some trades, but it's just better. So yeah, Conquer Triumph. You can go Alacrity if you really want to over Haste. I think Haste is better personally, but it's more preference and then less stand. And then yeah, for Sorcery, I go Transcendence Gathering. There are some times where I'll actually go this if I'm like against like a double AP like top jungle. Do sometimes go Nullifying Transcendence, but majority of the time I'm going Transcendence Gathering. The other page I have been running a decent amount though, especially into tanks and then range matchups as well, is I've been doing Demolish Second Wind more often now. It's Second Wind just gives really good utility, obviously, with the bonus healing, and then Demolish obviously is just really good synergy with KLED if you are gonna go Resolve. But I still usually go Sorcery most games, just because it's more consistent and just straight up just gives better stats throughout the game. But yeah, those are the two top pages. And mid lane, I was doing this page a lot, the Magical Footwear Cosmic with the Conquer setup. I did start to do this page as well a bit, like the Resolve page into like very high poke mages, which is like hard matchups as well. It's also not bad. But I usually like this page, and I run Ignite mid. I always run TP top, but mid lane I do run Ignite usually. Sometimes I'll still go TP if it's like a matchup where I just don't think I'm ever gonna kill in. But if I do go Ignite mid, I go Magical Footwear with Cosmic just for the extra CD reduction on the summoner spells, so I can just spam Ignite and perma just like look for fights early. And then I go double adaptive, and I always go usually the just base health, the 65 over the scaling health, just because it's just more impactful. And then the tenacity slow resist, I don't know. Every time I've taken it, even in the hard CC comps, it still feels kind of worthless. So I've kind of gotten away from it. But you can do this sometimes into some heavier CC comps, but I don't think it's that good anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the runes. It's pretty much the same as the last time. Now going into items. Well, first I'm just gonna go into the starting items. They did nerf D-Blade this patch, so it only gives 80 health, and they nerfed the lifesteal time a little bit as well. But I do think it still is, for the most part, the best item you can start on KLED. I don't think Longsword starts better than it, just because it still gives more stats, so I would go D-Blade over Longsword. But in the range matchups, I'd say always just to go D-Shield now, because of the nerfed health. It's just more useful. And I've honestly been experimenting a bit with D-Shield into like some of the more annoying like melee matchups, like even against like a Jax or something, and it doesn't feel terrible, but I do think I probably still prefer D-Blade. But it does give you a little bit more safety and like leeway if you do fuck up like level 1, 2 especially. But I would say D-Blade's still the best starting item. And for a lot of people that were asking me about Cole as well, I've gotten this question a lot. You don't always have to buy Cole. Cole's just a really good item if you say you're basing after like 3 waves and you have around 450, 500 gold. If you can base like pre 5 minutes and you have enough for a Cole on like a good base timer where, yeah, as I mentioned, you have around like 450, 500 gold, or say you're basing on 800 gold, then you could go like a longsword Cole or just a Cole, right? Because it just gives you full like free gold income, and it's only 3 less AD than a longsword, so it's not a bad item to go. But you don't always have to go it. But yeah, say I had 700 gold, I'd just go double longsword early. But Coal is a good item for sure early on if you can get it, just because, yeah, it gives decent stats and it just gives you an extra 100 gold plus the resale value, so you're just making free income. So for that, yeah, if you're basing like pre 5 minutes and you have good gold income to where you can buy that without like messing up your other like item spikes, it's not bad to do. But yeah, going into the actual build now, as you can see here, I'm no longer actually going full crit anymore. I don't think the crit build's like horrendous right now, but I have been going more of a lethality setup now. Just because with these Baron Recall boots, I've actually been going these pretty much every game now. Like, you know, for a while I was just going tier 1 boots and that was it. But I've started to go these souls items more, and it just gives so much more like tempo and just map pressure that it allows me to go like a more lethality style build with the Yomus, where I'm constantly just moving around the map and being able to make plays, and I can still catch waves in side lanes and not really miss out on team fights. So I'm still doing Hubris Rush in the most matchups just because it's a really good item and it just scales really well, right? And it's very snowbally. But yeah, then I go the boots. I usually wouldn't finish these boots until after the first item, just because you still are very, very reliant on getting your item spikes early. But yeah, I like them second, and then I just go into profane. Third item, if they aren't building any armor at all, you can skip LDR and just go straight into the Yomus. But usually by the time you're at your third item, it's like the 20 to 25 minute mark. So they'll have a decent amount of base armor. So I usually like getting pen third. But you can go Yomus and then go LDR fourth. Like, it's more interchangeable. But those are usually the third, fourth items. And then fifth item, I usually go Axiom. And then sixth item, they don't have any shields. I usually just go Opportunity. You can also fit in a Collector here. Like, I'll put it in here. It's not bad to get the 50% crit, but it doesn't give as much lethality, so it's just like pretty much what you want. Like, it's more interchangeable. But that's pretty much the core build I'm running now. And then in the tanks, instead of going profane, I actually just go Ravenous Rush into I usually like LDR second since I'm building it into tanks. They just have a lot of armor, right? So instead of Cleaver, I just go LDR because I think LDR is still just better than Cleaver. Also, I put it down here too, like in the healing champs, or like a big healing like comps, Mortal is still probably better to go. But in most scenarios right now, so we already have healing reduction on our Q, and they also nerfed both LDR and Mortal last patch to where LDR and Mortal are the same health or same pen now, but LDR still gives 10 more AD than Mortal. So I think in most games you want to go LDR, but there are some games where maybe Mortal will still be good. But yeah, for most games against tanks, I'm just doing Ravrush early because it just gives you really good sustain. You can ignore them and just get plates and just get a big advantage off that. And also, if they do try to like take an extended trade against you, it's not going to punish you as hard. So I do Rav into LDR, and I just go straight into the lethality options afterwards again. And it feels really good. So yeah, I've been going more lethality as you guys can see there. And then into range matchups, instead of going Hubris, like this build, you actually just go Voltaic, just because it's a really good stick item. People have asked me about Stride Breaker, and I just don't think Stride's very good. It's very understated, and I'd much rather just get Profane or Ravenous, but usually Profane's the way to go. It's the best damage and just stats you can get out of a Hydra. So yeah, in the range matchups, I'll go Voltaic, and then just go into the standard build afterwards. Also, for this, it's Rav build, like, you can actually go Rav into some bruisery matchups if you really wanted to. Like, say you're against like, what's a matchup, maybe like a Camille, for example, where like you're not getting a huge lead early and you don't think you're gonna be able to actually snowball that hard with Audi. You could just do Rav Rush and then go like maybe Hubris second if you really wanted to, and then go into like LDR and stuff. Like, that's another option you can do, but I usually just tend to just go straight into like this stuff, but it's more preference. But yeah, it's pretty much the same items afterwards. That's why I didn't really like fit them all in. For the most part, you're just going off of this like base like set, except yeah, Rav into tanks feels really good. Into some bruisers you can also do it. And then yeah, into range matchups you go Voltaic. You are playing KLED mid. I do rush Profane first, just because the T-mat is very important for like getting prio and being able to move around the map. And then I just go straight into a Yomu second actually. Third item, you can either do Axiom or LDR depending on how much pen you need, but I've actually been liking Axiom a bit more mid, just because usually you're laning against a very squishy mage, so you're not going to really need the pen yet. So I actually sometimes just push Axiom straight to third item mid lane, and then go into the other items afterwards. But yeah, and then also I still have the crit option here if you guys do want to go it. It's not bad. It's just, I think Lethality just gives you more snowball potential now, especially since they nerfed the crit items a couple patches ago. I did put it down here just in case you wanted to go it. And then yeah, here's a item set for the healing champs if you are gonna go mortal, if you really wanted to like get this hot mortal in the item set. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been running now. If anything does change in the next like patch or two, I'll make another video like this. I want to make as many of these as possible when I do change stuff up, so I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that's what I'm running. Hope you guys got some valuable information from this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.